This is the talk of Music City Real Estate.
Welcome back to another episode of the Talk of Music City Real Estate,
where we educate and motivate all things real estate.
My name is Monte Mohr with Realty One Group Music City.
Hey, and I'm Carey Ann with CMG Financial and my mortgage team.
Every week we'll be posting a new episode chock full of Nashville real estate value.
Yes, and you can follow along and subscribe at talkmusiccity.com.
Got a question for us? Ask away at questions@talkmusiccity.com.
Monty!
Carey Ann, so good to see your smile in the house.
I'm excited about this one today.
It was awesome meeting we had recently there with Ricky Caruth.
Yes. Oh, I love him.
Oh, man.
He's so good.
Relationships over transactions. Don't you love that?
You know, here he came to town. This is his 4th year, and every year he gets bigger and better. And I think his heart has just grown over the years, and he's just doing big things now for agents and helping them go to the next level. So really grateful for our friendship and partnership.
Well, today we have a young man that I'm excited to hear more from. He and his lovely wife came into our office not long ago from the other side of the country, on the east side.
Other side of the country?
Well,
what are you talking about? A couple
South
states
Carolina
over?
or North Carolina, somewhere, one of the Carolinas anyhow. But anyhow, Connie and I became so impressed with this awesome dynamic couple right off the bat. I said, man, what do you do? And he said, I work for Meritage Homes. And I thought, I like Meritage. Tell me more. And then he said, well, let's let you share what makes Meritage different. But Rashaud McCray, good to have you with us, brother. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Monte and Carey.
Yes, welcome.
But so anyhow, let's talk about, first of all, one of the things that I love about you is that before Meritage, you were in general real estate.
Yes.
So you feel our pain.
Man, it is different. I see a lot of the changes with NAR, and I had a realtor come in yesterday, and she's like had a new form that she has to fill out because the buyer doesn't, or she's making sure that the buyer understands that they don't have to pay her for per showing now. Or, anyway, it's a lot going on in general right now, and I'm like, I definitely feel your pain.
Yeah. You're like, and I'm going to put the line there because I'm not having anybody, get that confused. Too bad.
Yeah. So we're not here to answer those kind of questions, but we are here to better understand Meritage. So you were in general real estate for how long?
I was in general for 4 years.
Okay. Long enough to know better.
Oh, yeah. It was a great time.
But Jasmine, your beautiful wife, didn't get that message. She's still in general.
She's still there.
No, I'm just kidding.
It is great.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't be able to do good in new construction. So God bless you for being able to do that. But I just love the fact that you have the background of general real estate so you can understand the challenges that we have when, as an example, which isn't true here, but as an example, you've been working, so hard with a client, and they finally choose a builder, and that builder doesn't appreciate realtors and doesn't want to pay that realtor. I know in today's world we're negotiating something different, but I'm just saying that I just think it's short-sighted that a builder doesn't want to continue partnering, with a real estate professional. But that's another side journey there. But let's talk about what does make Meritage different. I've sold several of their homes over the years. I will say this, prior to real estate, I was in construction, so I can walk into a home and get a good feeling or not so. And there's a lot of not so out there, but I've never had a problem with Meritage, and I'm glad to see they have somebody like yourself that's promoting the brand and here to ask questions and interface with the real estate community. And again, thank you for being here today to shed a light on Meritage, what makes Meritage different.
Hey, that's a great question, Monty. I think I'll start off really just addressing what you talked about to start off with, right? Just the relationship with realtor partners. And that's something that I was really sold on when I got to Meritage, is that we promote our realtor partners. We really look forward to fostering those relationships. That's not something that we're shying away from, or we want to try to cut the realtor out of the deal. We realize that realtors are an extremely important part of our business, right? So, I mean, when we look at it, I'm almost doing business to business with realtors versus looking for my next buyer. If I find my next buyer, that's one sale. That's great. But if I find my next realtor partner, it may be 3 or 4 sales this year. Yeah. So that's the philosophy behind what we're doing as Meritage. And from a leadership standpoint, just when you get to our senior level leadership, we really, really focus on making sure that realtors are taken care of, and we value it. Your client can come to us without you today and decide they want to buy tomorrow, and they're like, hey, look, my realtor's Monte. And we're like, all right, great. And we'll make sure Monte's information is on the form, and we're not shying away from that at all.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, I know you've already answered the question, but so really, truly, you know, if I own a construction company and I can keep that 2 or 3 or 4% in my own pocket, seemed like I'd want to do that. Did the ownership there give you any sort of revelation other than we embrace realtors? I mean,
well, great question. So I've learned since I've been here, and I've been with Meritage for 8 months now, and I've worked with Meritage while in general brokerage for years. Like I've always admired them as a company, but what I understand is during COVID times, right, or just 2020 in general, the market was so hot where you got, you know, you remember the long waiting list and over asking price, and you know, it just kind of got really crazy, and it got to the point where Meritage at a point in time kind of followed suit with not valuing the relationship with realtor partners at a point in time, and they realized how much it tanked business and how much that they see how important that is, and they're just like, look, we're never going back to that.
Good for them.
As a company,
that's good. So they tried it, and you know,
it was like, no way. There's no way.
I appreciate that transparency.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah.
Because I get the temptation to. A few years back, I represented a builder for a few minutes, and their philosophy was, well, look, we make a lot more money if there's not a realtor involved, so don't encourage that. And it's like, are you kidding me? That's a real short vision you have here. You know, if that's what you're playing to. And there are companies in here in the area that absolutely play to that, and that's their choice. But that's why I wanted to take the time and the focus and energy to talk about Meritage, because they are different than many of them out there right now. And I think they're, so tell us more. So what makes Meritage different? Are they building a cheaper home? Are they building a better home? Let's talk about that.
This is a national firm, yes?
This is nationally. We're top 5 nationally.
Where's your headquarters based out of?
Scottsdale, Arizona.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So, but we are so much different from every other builder, and this is coming from, I like my position because I was in general, and I understand the differences in the different builders, especially the top 5 national builders. I see the quality. When it comes down to energy efficiency, we're using like spray foam insulation in your homes. There's no other top 5 builders.
I couldn't believe you shared. I don't think anybody's doing that.
Not at all.
You know, Connie and I have an older home in Florida, and we just paid for that whole attic to be spray foamed, and that's a big deal.
It is a huge
and
deal.
It drops the average temperature of that attic space from 120 in the summertime to like 85 or something like that. I forget the numbers.
Yep. Our attics are literally temperature controlled. So, I mean, you could have your attic just wide open, and it's kind of matching the temperature in your home.
Wow. That's a big deal.
It's huge, man. I think I don't focus a lot on it when I'm talking to clients, because you won't understand, but a lot of clients will come in and they don't appreciate it as much because they haven't. I mean, I'm dealing with a lot of first-time home buyers or first-time homeowners, so they haven't experienced what spray foam is like. So it's kind of hard to like. And I always tell myself, I'm not like a salesperson. I'm like, if you like it, I'll sell it to you, but I don't want to sell you on it. But the people that do come in and understand the value of a spray foam insulation in their home, and we're talking even like a MERV 13 air filter. This is the hospital grade air filter, right? Multi-speed HVAC. This is saving energy. Our HVACs literally will use 2 different speeds, right? So we have 2 different fans in the HVAC. If you're changing temperature from 70 to 73, well, it's just using a little fan. That way you're not utilizing a lot of energy. You're going from 70 to 80. Okay, well, maybe, it understands that, hey, I want to use more energy, and they'll use the bigger fan. So a lot of different things, man. We are Energy Star Partners of the Year 11 times in a row. Indoor Air Plus certified by EPA, right? So we do a lot of things that really help. That's
really high end. Those are high end items. Normally, this is not a first time buyer category. I'm really surprised that committed to the quality of their product, that they would include that in an affordable home. That's amazing. We do.
We focus a lot on it, and for first time homeowners or just any buyer in general. Like we will focus, especially here in the Nashville market. We'll make sure we're focusing on making sure that blinds are in the home at the time of move-in. Washer and dryers coming in your home. Refrigerators coming in your home, right? So we're just making sure that your move is really seamless. We truly believe that our homes live a lot better than other homes in the market. And we just kind of put our foot forward with that.
Oh, that's very, very nice.
And as a former general real estate practitioner, that's got to be really comforting, you know. And then the resale of a quality product, to me, always makes a difference as well, because normally you can go into a neighborhood and just even the facades look more quality with some builders versus others.
100% agree.
Yeah, and I like the idea where it's streamlined, right, for the consumer, especially if it's a first-time home buyer. They're very overwhelmed. They don't realize the true cost that goes into purchasing a home, and then the appliances, you know, within.
Yep.
And they also won't appreciate all that you're putting in the home until they start paying the bills. And then they're like, you know, want to give you a party because the bills that they're going to be paying every month are a lot, you know, lower, which is amazing. And so what price point of homes does Meritage sell?
So we have price points all over. So we have 10 different communities right now
here in Middle Tennessee.
In Middle Tennessee. Lowest price point I can get you $299 right now if that's your budget. That's out in Lebanon townhome. And then I'm going all over, and that's to put it in perspective, that's 1,600 square foot townhome. We have townhomes that go down to 1,400 square feet. So as far as square footage wise, that's the lowest that we'll go. We'll go all the way up to 3,000 square feet though for some of our first mover uppers, right? That maybe had their first time home and they want to go up a home. That price point can get up into the 560s, 580s, 600s, depending on the area. But we're really spread out across Middle Tennessee, Murfreesboro, Clarksville, Hermitage. We have a community in Nashville, so we really we focus on a lot of different Gallatin, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
you're hitting all the counties.
Oh yeah, and we got a lot more coming, right? So since I've been here, I've been here for 8 months. We've opened up 4 new communities in those 8 months. Wow. And it's kind of weird because I'm coming from the Charlotte, North Carolina market.
Sure.
And so many people know about Meritage Homes. And I came here just expecting that everybody knew about Meritage. And I realized that a lot of agents didn't. And so I spent a lot of time just educating people on who we are, what we do. And I came at a really good time because it's a time where we're building so much and opening up so many different communities. We got 2 new upcoming communities out in one in Franklin and another one in like the Cane Ridge, Antioch
very
area,
nice.
right near the.
And what is your true position with Meritage?
So I'm a sales counselor.
Okay.
Yep, I'm a sales counselor, and I essentially help families just get into homes.
Okay, very nice. So you would sit in a different model or one specific model?
Yeah, so it's interesting because I do sit in a model some days, but for the most part, because we're so relationship based and I'm building relationships with realtor partners. Our company allows us to say, hey, look, you know, Monte, right? You're showing your client's deciding between our house in Smyrna and Murfreesboro. Well, if I can only sit in Smyrna, then I will have to send you to a new sales counselor. Well, that kind of changes the relationship. Maybe you like working with Rashaud because Rashaud is able to assist your clients the way that you need him to. Yeah. So I'm able to kind of move from Smyrna to Murfreesboro. If your client's like, you know what, I think we want to go to Gallatin. Well, let's take a drive out to Gallatin and see if you like those homes out there.
That's very nice. That's a different model. Yeah, that opens up lots of opportunity for you.
Absolutely.
You know, it really is. I applaud you're the decision maker who decided to do that, because it really is about the relationships.
It is.
And it's hard to have relationships if you're being passed around to several different entities that may not have the same connection that you had with them in that scenario.
Agreed.
So if I walked in today, Rashaud, and said, hey, I want to build a house with you guys, I'm sure it makes a difference in what locale and so forth, but what is your average build time now? Because
good question.
I feel like there was a situation 2 days ago that a builder that I won't mention the name because it's become a cuss word to some folks, but anyways, they say on their contracts they have up to 2 years to build a house. Have you ever seen a contract like that you have up to 2 years to finish that sucker?
Interesting enough, our build times are 30 to 60 days. Well, not build times, but move-in times. So we really focus on like quick move-ins, right? So most of our homes are on the market, ready to go.
Okay, so not pre-sales.
Not really selling dirt and making sure. But when we did, our contracts also say we have up to 2 years to build the home. Now, do we want to do that? Not at all.
That must be a community standard.
I think something happened. I'm pretty sure something happened along the line somewhere.
When it was a hot time and people couldn't get lumber and so forth.
I think I had plywood for 2 years, didn't I, on my garage door? So I can understand and appreciate the fact that it took a little bit to get some of the products. I think you had all of these things, but you didn't have like the doorknobs or something. Like, right? It was like randomly things that were missing. It was the small minor things that had to be
China.
that had to got stuck on a boat or something. That kind of thing. Totally get it. You spoke of your lowest price point and speak on into the higher end.
So we got, if you want to spend $400,000-$500,000 on 580.
So that's your higher price point.
Higher price point, you're probably getting closer to like 580 in this market right now.
All right. Yeah. So that's really good. So if you're looking
really
for
affordable.
Quality and it sounds like efficiency is what you're looking for.
100%.
That is a win. Now, with every large production builder, we sometimes see some incentives and some excitement, associated with each purchase. Is there something that Meritage is doing now?
So we are the masters of making sure there's something new every month.
Okay.
This month we are offering rates as low as 4.99.
Okay.
Which is huge when we're talking about just having a rate that's below market in general. On top of the 4.99, we're also able to offer a $10,000 incentive. That way your buyers coming to us and not having to worry about closing costs, just down payment. And sometimes we'll get VA buyers where it's like, hey, I have no down payment, I have no closing costs, and I got a below market interest rate, right?
Yeah.
So it's a win across the board.
Now, is that 499 amortized loan? 30 year?
That is fixed 30 years.
Yeah, that's perfect. So to speak into that, which is exciting for those that are looking, being a lender, the average interest rate is not that currently, right? And so Meritage has gone over and above and has purchased a large sum of interest rates, right? In bulk, which allows them to offer that interest rate. And so that's how that is. So basically they're eating their margin, to be able to allow for the lower interest rate plus the closing costs, which makes it a win-win for the buyers. So I think that's exciting.
And even on top of that, so some buyers will do is say, hey, look, the 4.99 is great, or last month it was 5.25. The rates have gone down a little bit, so we're kind of making sure that we stay below the market because we know that affordability is a huge issue, right? Monthly payment, and so. When we offer that $10,000, sometimes depending on the client or depending on the home and all of the scenarios match, but maybe they're $5,000 away from purchasing this home, and we can afford that because we could get the rate down from a 4.99 and now we're down to 4.75 because we bought it down even more than what we originally had our forward commitment for. So just tons of options. I always encourage people, like, don't just look at what's advertised, but reach out to a representative within Meritage Homes. Of course, I want to be your preferred agent, but it's all about the client at the end of the day. And I truly feel that way. I truly feel like the more people that we have that's able to purchase homes and the home ownership just continues to go up. I think
I love that. And having a serving heart, and educating the real estate community, I think is a huge win, and building those bonds with real estate agents. I was at a function the other day and I saw some crumble cookies from y'all. So, and they spoke very highly of you at another real estate office. So I think that is definitely a win-win. And so you do own your own mortgage firm. Is that correct?
Yeah. So
the company does?
Yeah.
Not
we
so much
do.
you.
Yeah. Well,
That'd be cool.
Wait, I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
But yeah, Meritage, we have 60% ownership in MTH is our mortgage company.
So just to speak into that, and so you basically, to get the incentive, very similar to all different other builders, right? They would work with all the preferred vendors, that they have on their list, and they're a great mortgage firm. And again, how does it work if they're not approved by mortgage company A? Is there more flexibility there?
Yeah, absolutely. So if
you're talking about mortgage company B?
I'm just trying to put myself. I'm putting myself in the conversation there, Monty. Hey,
I like how you do business.
It's kind of my podcast with you, so it's kind of taking ownership.
I didn't want to mention the obvious there, but I thought I'd go do it just in case that nobody's paying attention at that moment.
Absolutely.
I thought I was going to do it a classier way, but hey, there you go. Too funny.
The way that we'll operate is we always encourage clients to apply with our mortgage company, and of course we make sure the disclaimer's out there. You can use whoever you want to use, but we have a lot more negotiating room or just ability to offer our incentives if you're using our preferred lender. Now, if you apply with our preferred lender and they can't do it, and you have to use an outside lender, well, that opens up a whole different conversation, right? Because we still want to sell the house. We love to partner with outside lenders, and if it takes additional incentive money, then that's a conversation that I'm just looking to get approval for. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't, but I'm always looking forward to making sure I'm helping my clients.
I love that. Yeah. So not only do you love the real estate agent, but you love outside, lenders, which again is one of my bread and butter. I definitely love serving our builders out there. Yeah. And I will say new construction is a little different than resale. You guys do a shorter close, which is nice. I focus a lot on the pre-sales with a lot of the builders, right? And so you've got to understand that a credit report's only good for 4 months, and we want to make sure that their locks are good and they're locked in for a long period of time, et cetera, et cetera. So it sounds like you guys have a shorter window, to be able to get them from start to finish, which is a win. But yes, we would be honored to be a second set of eyes and another lending opportunity, for all of the families that are looking at Meritage.
About CMG.
So if I go in there and wanted to buy a house from you, and I refuse to use anybody but Carey Ann, I can still buy a house from you. Is that what you're saying?
All day long.
Okay,
not a problem at all.
Just want to make
not a problem
make
at
that
all.
clear.
I love to assist.
Yeah, I love that. But he's encouraging with the incentives, which again we can appreciate that, right? Because again, they have ownership in this company, in that company, and it's a win-win. And there's reasons why people always say, "Why do you support preferred lenders?" Because I am one, right, to many. Mm-hmm. So I do encourage and have an understanding of the reason for featured and preferred for all the right reasons. There's a reason that you put 2 and 2 together, right, to make the process go smoother, to have more an efficient, streamlined, concept created. Plus, there's a trust, right? There's a trust with builder A and lender B, right, and type of thing. So making sure that we can gain in the opportunity to earn that trust, I think it's going to be a win for folks down the road as well. So
let me just back up just a second here, if you don't mind, Rashaud. Sure. So I guess I didn't understand when you were first talking about it what because the last home I sold of Meritage, I think it was, I don't know, 700,000 or something. It seems like, but anyways. So are you saying that you put this foam insulation in that starter home?
Absolutely.
Holy cow.
Across the board, it sounds like. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. When you started talking about that 1,400 square foot townhome, the starter home, I assumed that, those folks don't know the savings anyhow. They don't, but those folks are the ones that need it the most. That first time buyer that stretched maybe a little tighter than they'd like to be. I mean, the next question is, have you guys had any chance have you had enough history yet to compare the savings that foam insulation has done? Because to me, that's a big deal.
Yes. So in each of our homes, because home sizes are a lot different, you're going from a 1,400 square foot home or 2,000 or 3,000, right? So each home will save you a different amount of money.
Sure.
But on average, right, you're saving in between $60 a month to $100 a month, right? Which I tell people, after 6 months, you're talking about a vacation or something, right?
Oh, that's huge, because even on a mortgage payment, if we can move the needle just $50, $60, $100, it's huge for all of us, right? Somebody will not buy a home if the payment is $100 higher. Period. They won't, right? Because of that mortgage payment. But it's thinking, and we try to speak into budgets, right? Cash flow every month. So lessening that cash flow across the board, I think, is a win-win. So we're talking a lot of goodness here with our friends at Meritage. So you've got the quality, the efficiency. You love real estate agents, which I think is a win. Building those bonds, I think, is key. And it sounds like you're just a rock star, and you can relate to the other real estate agent because you were in resale or general, I think this terminology is. And so how do folks who want to learn more about the different products, because if I was a real estate agent, I would want to know all things about what you're selling. So I had it in my portfolio to when talking with client A, and they reference they want to look at this neighborhood or that or this type of home or that price point. I can already speak into. I think your buddy, your coach, we did a podcast about understanding new construction and taking your business to the next level by really just being truly educated on all things that are out there from a product standpoint. How does one get in touch with you?
Let me make sure I answer the question correctly. So as far as staying connected and understanding like what's available on the market and things like that, it's kind of my bread and butter, right? Because I moved to a brand new market. I didn't know anybody here. And so what I had to do was start like an email distribution list. And I'm not a huge email person. I've always been like big on social media and like just meeting people, shaking hands. But the power of email marketing has exploded my business.
Nice.
So I run a distribution chain of emails for my realtor partners, and I'm updating them either on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. I kind of can feel when it feels like, okay, maybe there's not an update really required.
Sure.
There's not much of a change. But if I got, a $500,000 house that we have on sale for $450,000, I think that deserves an email blast. That way you can make
let them all know for sure.
Exactly. Or a new community open or something like that. So my name's Realtor Rashaud on every social media platform.
Realtor Rashaud. And how do you spell Rashaud?
RASHAUD.
HAUD. Okay.
Yep.
So that's going to be your handle.
That's my handle.
Period.
I'm like, I love Instagram. So Instagram is where I do a lot.
A little younger than us.
Yeah, a little millennial, right?
It's all good.
But
we're
on
getting
Facebook,
there.
I am Rashaud McCray. That is my first and last name.
Okay.
So RASHAUD, last name McCray.
Okay.
MCCRAY.
Perfect. So if you are an oldie but goodie like us, and we want to get straight to the point and reach out to you from the cell phone and do like the actual talking.
704-307-5888. I love a good old school phone
talk. Okay, let's do the talk. Okay, because this is the talk of Music City real estate. So we got 704-307
5888.
5888. All right, that's how we're getting in touch with our new friend here, and he's going to teach us all about Meritage Homes.
Yes.
Such a pleasure getting to meet you. And also, you are a new daddy. You're loving your son, and you and Jasmine.
He's got three boys now.
But new daddy as in again.
I know.
Yeah, take three. Take three. I don't know how that works. But
Rashaud,
I feel like it's easy after the third. But you're now a true pro. You know all the songs. You know all the riddles and the rhymes and all the things.
So the side note, they challenged me to do a song when I first came here, and I sung Blues Clues.
There you go.
That's in my head. I do it every morning.
We told them every guest has to sing a song. I love it. Thanks everybody for joining us. We can't wait to have you come back. You've been listening to the talk of Music City Real Estate.
Thank you.